If you clicked on this video, chances are you're a sports fan like myself. And as a sports fan, we all accept that we're going to go through some pretty painful and tough moments. And that's what today's video is about. I'm going to be talking about my top 5 most painful memories as a sports fan across all my teams, along with the Cowboys, Stars, Mavericks, all of them. Yeah, before I'm in the video, remember to leave a like if you enjoy, and let's hop right into the video. I'm going to give one honorable mention before I start the top 5 list. And my honorable mention is the Elite 8 of 2023 between the Texas Longhorns and the Miami Hurricanes. Thinking of this game just makes me really upset, and it's super frustrating to think that Texas probably should have won this game and probably should have made the Final Four. This is one of those things where it doesn't make the list because it's March Madness and losing and that type of stuff. It happens, and it's not as painful in my opinion as some of the other games on this list, but it was definitely a tough loss. It's going to stick around for a while. It was a great team, a really fun basketball team to watch from the University of Texas this year, and the fact that they had a big lead, a double-digit lead in the second half and blew it, gave up like a 13-2 run the final stretch of the game to Miami of all teams. Really tough. You know, I could practically taste the Final Four in my mouth as I was doing the stream, and I was super excited, and then we blew the lead, and it was unfortunate. Definitely a loss that's going to sting for a while, but Texas basketball is a good team, and they should be back to those big games in the future. But that loss definitely hurt. There were some big moments in that game that Texas just couldn't convert on, and it's a tough loss, but it does not make the top 5. Now we're in the top 5, and at number 5, it is the Dallas Cowboys versus the Green Bay Packers in the 2016 divisional round. The reason why it's at number 5 is because it was like my first year really cheering for the Cowboys. I was pretty new to this whole Cowboys playoff choking stuff, and it was definitely a reality check for me as a fan of the team because it was rough. You know, they had went 13-3 that season. Dak and Zeke were killing it as rookies, and I didn't really understand how football worked. I didn't realize that the Cowboys were going to lose in the playoffs. I didn't think that was going to happen. I was kind of shocked when it did happen. Aaron Rodgers broke my heart that day. It was horrible, and yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible, you know. Probably one of my first big playoff losses and worst playoff memories. Aaron Rodgers throwing that incredible pass to Jared Cook down the sideline, and then Mason Crosby barely hooking that field goal in. That was rough, and I think the Cowboys made like a 21-3 comeback in that game too. So all in all, it was just a huge build-up to a unfortunate collapse at the end, and definitely one of my least favorite sports memories. At number 4, we have an OG one right here. All the Blue Jays fans that I know remind me about this constantly, and that is, of course, the 2015 ALDS, particularly, I believe, the 7th inning of the 2015 ALDS, Game 5. The Rangers, I believe, were up in this series 2-0, blew the 2-0 lead. All they had to do was win one game. In classic regular fashion, they blew the 2-0 lead. Went to Game 5, had a lead. Elvis Andrus made a bunch of errors in that inning, and then, of course, Jose Bautista hit a massive home run to left field, did this crazy bat flip, and pretty much ended the Rangers season. There's a lot of reasons why this game is on the list. I mean, it was super painful, obviously, in the moment. That bat flip was such a painful moment. It was one of my first seasons cheering for the Rangers, and I was excited about the playoffs, and then they blew that to the Blue Jays, and it made me really sad. So that moment sucked a lot. Number 3 is a pretty recent one. It is Stanford versus Texas in the Super Regionals this past summer. A lot of recent ones from the Texas Longhorns athletic program getting me here. And yeah, this game was super frustrating. The Game 3, Texas and Stanford going back and forth in this game. It was a great game. And the reason why this is up there is, like I said earlier, it's one of those endings that kills you. And it was the fly ball that got lost in the Stanford Stadium lights. And Dylan Campbell could not find the ball. It dropped, and we lost the game. And I think it was the bomb the 9th or something like that. It was horrible. It was a great season. The Texas baseball team started off really slow that year, this past season, and they made a great comeback, dominated the Coral Gables regional. It was a stream too. I reacted pretty rough. It was bad. It was a rough game, and it sucks. It really hurt. Nothing else I can say about it, really. Don't really want to think about that much more, but that moment is certainly going to be stuck in my head, and I have PTSD forever on Pop 5s. I have PTSD forever from that moment. So, at number 2, we have a classic. Texas versus Oklahoma 2021 Red River rivalry. There's a lot of reasons why this game is at number 2. I mean, Texas blowing a 28-7 lead to their biggest rival is pretty bad. Caleb Williams coming into the game for Spencer Rattler and absolutely dominating Texas was rough. I mean, to this day, I still have Oklahoma fans who tell me about this game. I mean, there were a bunch of bad things that happened. It was horrible. Texas completely choked this game away. The reason why this game is up there is because not only did they choke the game, a massive lead, the trash talk was horrible after the game, and also that game completely ruined the Longhorn season. I think they were 4-1 going into the Red River game, and I think that was the start of a 6-game losing streak. The season completely unraveled after that loss. So that Oklahoma game was horrible. And obviously, there's been a lot of Red River games in my lifetime that have been crazy and close. That game was just straight painful, and a lot of Red River games have been painful. Thankfully, we did get revenge on Oklahoma in 2022, but man, that 2021 game still stings a bit because, man, we had a great lead in that game, and we completely choked it. And again, it's another one of those games that still gives me PTSD to this day. No lead is safe. That game was rough. And at number one, I think if you know me and you know how much of a big Cowboys fan I am, you know that this game is obviously going to be number one. The Cowboys versus the 49ers wildcard game in 2021. I mean, this game had it all. The Cowboys going into this game were the favorites at home in the wildcard against a scrappy underdog 49ers team with the league's best offense, and they got shut down for 3 quarters completely. Offensive line got destroyed. They scored 1 touchdown in the first half. Amari Cooper scored a touchdown. And yeah, the league's best offense got shut down. It was horrible, and there's a lot of reasons why this game was there as well. The Cowboys made a little fourth quarter comeback, and then I think we all know what happened at the very end of the game where Dak Prescott ran a QB sneak with no timeouts and with 14 seconds left. And we didn't get another snap off. That's the worst way to end your season, no doubt about it. That loss is definitely one of the most frustrating sports losses I will probably ever experience. If anything ends up topping that, that's unfortunate because that was a terrible moment. I really thought the Cowboys were going to go to the Super Bowl in 2021. Their team was so good. Their defense forced turnovers. It was Micah's rookie year, and he was crazy. Dak was playing at the best ball of his career. CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper. The team was so stacked and loaded. And the fact that they lost in the wild card round that type of way, in the most Cowboys fashion, it still stings to this day, honestly, and especially the fact the 49ers beat us the next year as well. That game is definitely the worst sports game I've watched in my life. So yeah, I definitely won't forget that game anytime soon. Hopefully the Cowboys can win a Super Bowl, then I can forget about it. But as of right now, the Cowboys vs. 49ers game is easily number one on the list. No doubt about it. I don't see anything passing anytime soon. Hopefully I'm not jinxing myself because that game was horrible, horrible, horrible. I just want to end this video. I mean, reliving these memories has not been fun, and finding the highlights of these games. Leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed, and if you guys want to see an episode where I talk about my top 5 favorite sports moments, because I definitely have a few of those as well, I will make that video as well. So comment down below your least favorite sports moments or the toughest sports moments of your sports fandom. And yeah, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.